Homily, 23rd Sunday in Ordinary Time, Year C. St. Jude Church. This reflection is prepared by Father Aube Francis, pastor at St. Jude Church, Grand Rapids, Michigan, USA. The cost of discipleship, my brothers and sisters in Christ. Today's gospel captures one of the most challenging moments in Jesus' ministry. St. Luke tells us that Jesus is on his long journey to Jerusalem, a journey that would lead him to the cross. Along the way, large crowds were following him. They loved listening to him. They admired his wisdom. They applauded when he exposed the hypocrisy of the rich and the proud Pharisees. They loved when he pointed out the faults of others, but today Jesus stops. He turns around and looks not at the Pharisees or scribes, but at the very crowds who followed him. And he asks them the most direct question of all, "What about you? Are you ready to follow me? Are you willing to carry your cross?" Silence must have filled the air. And for many of us today, that same silence exists. We do not say yes, and we do not say no. We delay. But discipleship cannot be postponed forever. Jesus is clear. Following him is not about being a fan in the crowd. It is about carrying the cross. Not just admiring him, not just quoting his words, but living them sometimes at great cost. The crosses we carry, the cross takes many forms in our lives. It is not always the wooden beam of Calvary, but something deeply personal. Sometimes hidden, often heavy and painful and unique. For some, it is a chronic illness or physical weakness. For others, it is a broken relationship, a family problem, or the pain of loneliness. For some, it is the responsibility of raising children or caring for an aging parent. For many, it is the burden of financial struggle, job loss, or the fear of the future. Others carry the cross of disappointment, depression, or rejection. Every cross is personal, like a fingerprint. Two people may suffer the same illness, but they carry it differently, each in a unique way. Carrying the cross is the personal way each of us proves our faithfulness to Christ. There are also larger crosses we carry together. As a society, we bear the crosses of violence, division, terrorism, economic instability, and wars that never seem to end. As a church, we carry the cross of handing on the faith to the next generation in a world that often resists the gospel. Parents, teachers, and catechists take on this holy burden so that the seeds of faith can grow in the hearts of children as they once grew in us. And in the second reading, St. Paul writes to Philemon, asking him to carry his cross in a very practical way, to welcome back Onesimus, not as a slave but as a brother in Christ, to forgive, to reconcile, and to treat another with dignity. That, too, is a cross. Sometimes the hardest cross is not sickness or poverty, but the call to forgive, to let go, to treat others with love even when it hurts. 3 lessons from the cost of discipleship. 1. Discipleship is not cheap. It requires sacrifice. Jesus says clearly that we must renounce all things and even put him before family ties if we want to follow him. That does not mean neglecting family, but it means putting Christ at the center of every relationship, every decision, and every plan. 2. Discipleship means carrying our cross, not avoiding it. We can complain, deny, or reject our crosses, but salvation comes only when we pick them up with faith. The cross is not meant to destroy us, but to shape us into Christ's disciples. 3. Discipleship transforms us from fans to true followers. The crowd cheered Jesus, but when the cross appeared, many walked away. A fan listens and admires. A disciple lives and perseveres. It is only the disciple who discovers the peace, the joy, and the eternal glory that come from following Christ. A final word: every Mass is a moment of decision. Each time we gather at this altar, Jesus once again turns around and asks us, "Will you carry your cross and follow me?" The cross is the path to spiritual maturity, the road to eternal glory, the mark of a true disciple. Let us not remain silent like the crowd. Let us answer with courage, "Yes, Lord, I will follow you." Question for meditation: do I follow Jesus only when it is easy, or do I stay close to him even when the weight of the cross is heavy?